When Prince Harry and Meghan Markle made their groundbreaking announcement to step back from their roles as working royals, it shook the foundations of the monarchy. Their decision came as a bolt from the blue, leaving both the public and their closest circles in disbelief. But here's the thing. Even before they exchanged vows, some keen-eyed observers had already predicted that drama would follow them down the aisle. It wasn't a question of if, but when the storm would hit. Just last week, royal biographer and journalist Sally Bedell-Smith shared a startling revelation on her Substack newsletter, Royal Extras. She unveiled a conversation from days before Harry and Meghan's wedding, where the late Queen Elizabeth II's cousin, Lady Elizabeth Anson, allegedly made a rather telling comment. "We hope but don't quite think she is in love. We think she engineered it all," she said, casting doubt on Meghan's intentions. And it wasn't just Lady Elizabeth who had reservations. Feminist icon Germaine Greer, in a blunt interview a couple of months before the wedding, predicted that Meghan would bolt back to the United States. Speaking candidly to 60 Minutes Australia in April 2018, Greer noted, "Let's hope they're in love. If they're not, it's going to be totally unbearable." She didn't mince words when she expanded on her concerns, explaining that Meghan might find herself suffocated by the relentless pressure of royal life, a prediction she based on Meghan's previous, short-lived marriage to Trevor Engelson. But rather than a split, Greer's foresight was chillingly accurate. She suggested that both Harry and Meghan might end up leaving the royal fold together. "I think she'll bolt. I hope in a way that she'll bolt, but maybe she'll take Harry with her," Greer said, foreseeing the couple's eventual departure. As the wedding day drew closer, there were murmurs of concern behind the palace walls. Close confidants of the royal family voiced their unease, observing Meghan's behavior. Lady Elizabeth, who had once found Meghan to be full of charm and natural, intelligent, and thoughtful, claimed that as the wedding loomed, Meghan's demeanor had shifted. She had become more bossy, causing the Queen to privately express her worries. Meanwhile, Harry allegedly acted out during a meeting with the Queen about the wedding, showing a level of rudeness that left many uneasy. This shift in dynamics didn't go unnoticed by Lady Elizabeth. She privately predicted that Meghan's behavior could spiral into nothing but trouble, noting that the former actress saw the world through a distinctly different lens. It seemed as though the cracks were already beginning to show before they even said their vows.
Germaine Greer's eerie predictions didn't stop there. In another interview with 60 Minutes Australia after the infamous Megxit, the couple's dramatic exit from royal duties, Greer once again offered her candid insights. This time, she was even more specific. "They're not even figureheads. They are sixth in line to be a figurehead, which isn't terrific," she pointed out. She went on to say, "I think they may have miscalculated, and I think they might slide into complete obscurity." While it's clear that Harry and Meghan have not slipped into total obscurity, their journey post-exit has certainly been turbulent. In May, the Mail on Sunday reported that Prince Harry is preparing to launch a new commercial venture. However, his true focus remains on his charity work, and so far, he has yet to establish the kind of television personality that Meghan has worked toward. As for Meghan, her struggles have been very public. One of the most noticeable hurdles she faced was securing the star power she'd hoped for her new show, With Love Meghan, which premiered in March. Despite expectations that she would land big names like Oprah, Serena Williams, and Tyler Perry, who is godfather to their daughter, Princess Lilibet, Meghan could only manage to secure appearances from her Suits co-star Abigail Spencer, socialite Delphina Figueres, and chef Roy Choi. The star power of the show seemed underwhelming, especially given the expectations that Meghan's connections could bring Hollywood-level clout. But the biggest surprise came in the form of Harry himself, who appeared for just a few minutes in the final episode. Even the much-anticipated appearance of The Office star Mindy Kaling in the second episode didn't seem to give the series the kind of star-studded energy Meghan had hoped for. There's a growing sense that the Sussexes' professional paths are diverging. Both have taken on more solo projects, and the contrast in their ambitions has never been more evident. Meghan's focus is clearly on building her empire. She has spoken openly about her desire to become a billionaire, using her TV ventures and investments in startups as stepping stones. However, Harry seems content to remain firmly rooted in charity work, a cause close to his heart, especially through his work with Invictus Games. The difference in their professional aspirations is palpable. Meghan is a woman on a mission, aiming for the glitz and glamour of A-list celebrity status. She's ruthless, as her candid interview with Oprah proved, and her brand reaches far beyond what her royal status alone could ever have provided. But she faces an ongoing struggle to find the A-list friends and connections that could elevate her profile even further.
Harry, on the other hand, seems to have a more grounded approach. He's not interested in becoming a media mogul or influencer. His joy comes from the tangible impact he can make through charitable efforts. His work with the Invictus Games, especially, brings him joy, reminding him of a time before the royal spotlight became a burden. But even with these different trajectories, there's one thing that's clear: Harry and Meghan's marriage still holds a deep connection. However, their separate paths in life and career may be leading them into uncharted territory. The love is still there, but it seems that their professional lives are pulling them in opposing directions. As royal expert Richard Fitzwilliams noted, it's not a breakup. Rather, it's what's known as the 7-year glitch. According to Fitzwilliams, Meghan's ambition to build a billionaire brand could be at odds with Harry's quieter, charity-focused life. It's clear that their priorities are shifting, and while their personal bond remains strong, their professional ambitions are increasingly separate. Could this be the beginning of a new chapter for Harry and Meghan? A phase where their careers diverge even further? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: they remain an incredibly powerful duo even if their journey isn't exactly what they envisioned. As Harry and Meghan continue to navigate their separate journeys, it's impossible not to wonder how their paths will continue to evolve. Will their distinct professional ambitions drive a wedge between them? Or will they find a way to reconcile their diverging careers while maintaining the strong family bond they've always had? For Meghan, the pursuit of stardom is undeniable. She wants to carve out a place for herself in the world of high-profile celebrities, and she's not afraid to take the risks necessary to get there. Her brand has grown immensely, but there's still work to be done. As she chases after her dream of becoming a billionaire influencer, the question looms: will the sacrifices required to reach that pinnacle affect her personal life? The former actress has made no secret of her ambitions. She's relentlessly pursuing media opportunities, investing in startups, and trying to amplify her voice in the entertainment world. Yet, despite her best efforts, there's a sense that her rise to the top hasn't been as smooth or as glamorous as she had hoped. She might have access to powerful networks, but the A-list celebrities and global icons she envisioned working with remain just out of reach. In contrast, Harry's priorities remain firmly grounded in his charity work. The Duke of Sussex finds comfort and purpose in initiatives that serve those in need, such as the Invictus Games and his continued support of veterans and service members. His heart seems aligned with his mission, which contrasts with Meghan's more business-focused goals. While their professional lives take them in different directions, there's still a shared foundation in their family. Harry's recent appearances, such as at the Well-Child Awards, revealed a side of him that's reminiscent of the old Harry we saw before the royal turmoil. The joy he radiates when interacting with children and families who have benefited from the Invictus Games is unmistakable. This is where he finds his true happiness, away from the media circus and the constant scrutiny. For Meghan, though, the pressure to maintain a certain level of celebrity status seems never-ending. Despite all her efforts to launch successful ventures, there remains the nagging question of whether it's all worth it. Is the fame and fortune she's striving for truly fulfilling? Or is she running from something deeper, the weight of her royal ties and the expectations that come with them? Still, the couple remains deeply entwined, both in love and in their shared commitments to their family. They continue to work together on certain projects, despite their diverging professional focuses. Meghan's voice continues to carry weight, especially in issues related to women's rights, social justice, and mental health, issues that both she and Harry are passionate about. These causes are close to their hearts and, when united, have the potential to make a lasting impact. However, there's also a sense of unpredictability. In the face of mounting professional pressures, will Harry and Meghan's marriage remain as solid as it appears? The weight of their collective ambitions, particularly Meghan's desire to be a larger-than-life figure, could create tensions between them. As royal expert Richard Fitzwilliams noted, the couple's relationship is now facing a significant shift. While they still share a deep affection, their priorities are diverging in ways that could test their bond. If Meghan continues to push forward with her ambition for fame and wealth, will Harry feel sidelined in the process? Could the different directions they're heading in lead to a crossroads in their relationship? Perhaps this 7-year glitch is more than just a passing phase. Perhaps it's a reflection of the natural evolution of their partnership as they try to balance family, ambition, and the pressure of public scrutiny. While they've been through a roller coaster of challenges, both as individuals and as a couple, their resilience is undeniable. One thing that remains certain is that the world is watching. As Harry and Meghan's story continues to unfold, it's clear that the media and the public will continue to speculate about their every move. Every venture they embark on, every public appearance, and every new project they take on will be analyzed and scrutinized, often with sharp criticism and even sharper expectations. But despite the challenges, Harry and Meghan continue to hold their ground. They've faced unimaginable hurdles in the past, from their royal departure to the intense media scrutiny that followed. Yet, through it all, they've remained a strong unit bound by their love for each other and their shared values. As for what lies ahead, it's hard to say. Their story is far from over, and the next chapter is still unwritten. Will they find a way to merge their individual pursuits while keeping their marriage intact? Or will the mounting pressures from their separate paths lead them to new and unforeseen challenges? Only time will tell. But one thing is for sure, the world will be watching every step of the way, eagerly waiting to see how the Duke and Duchess of Sussex continue to write their own narrative. In the end, Harry and Meghan's journey is not just about what they achieve professionally. It's about their ability to navigate the personal dynamics that have so often been thrust into the spotlight. Whether they find balance, success, or simply peace in their own choices, their story will continue to captivate the world.